the kids opened the screen. There's no need. Yeah, turn it on. You can start. You still have some cards? You should go gun all that, or that's yours. Oh, okay. Oh, mumtaz. Do not just put on the table. Yeah. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعد تفرقا ساميا معصوما. اللهم لا تجعل فينا شقيا ولا محروما ولا مطرودا ولا معذبا بنار برحمتك يا عزيز الغفار. ثم أما بعد. Open your Mus'haf, page 8. Verse 55. وإذ قلتم يا موسى. Let's start على بركة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإذ قلتم يا موسى لن نؤمن لك حتى نرى الله جهرة فأخذتكم الصاعقة وأنتم تنظرون. First of all, يا موسى. يا النداء. يا موسى. So the ya they used to call somebody, yes? Similar in English, what? O, yes? Like just the letter O, like you're calling somebody. So Ya Musa. In the entire Quran, when they write an Ya Nida, they drop the alif. In the entire Quran, there's no exception. So Ya Musa. وإذ قلتم يا موسى لن نؤمن لك حتى نرى الله جهرة. نرى الله. There's alif after the ra. Why I have not pronounced it? نرى الله. The after ra, that alif. It's not yeah. That alif. للتخلص من التقاء الساكنين. ما شاء الله خلاص انتم معلمين واضحة عندكم. Yeah, so that was dropped because there are other two sukoons. The two sukoons. If the first sukoon it's a vowel letter, then that letter will become silent. You drop it in the pronunciation. If it's a constant letter, then you change the sukoon to kasra. And sometimes as exception to fatha or dhamma. إن ساكنان التقى يكسر ما سبق. إن ساكنان التقى يكسر ما سبق. وإن يكن لينا فحذفه أحق. Who can repeat this line? وإن يكن لينا فحذفه أحق. ما شاء الله. إن ساكنان التقى يكسر ما سبق وإن يكن لينا فحذفه أحق. نرى الله. نرى الله. When you stop نرى, yes, but when you continue نرى الله. Do not say نرى الله. No. نرى الله جهرة فأخذتكم الصاعقة وأنتم تنظرون. One more time. وإذ قلتم يا موسى لن one more time. وإذ قلتم يا موسى لن نؤمن لك حتى نرى الله جهرة فأخذتكم الصاعقة وأنتم تنظرون. Okay. My question to you. Musa alayhi salam himself asked the same question to Allah. And he said, Arini anzur ilayk. He asked the same question. So why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed those ones. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never blame Musa for what he's asking. It's exactly the same question. Or, because they are questioning his existence. Oh, okay. So لَن نُؤْمِنَ لَكَ حَتَّى نَرَى اللَّهَ. So we're not going to believe until we see Allah. But it's not, at the end, it's not the same request. It's not. There's one out of arrogance and another one out of love. So the intention behind makes difference. Musa, when he enjoyed talking to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he was happy. He wanted to go to the other level. And actually, when Allah asked him, وَمَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينِكَ يَا مُوسَى, what's that in your right hand, O Musa? He could make it, simple and said, this is my stick. يا عصاي. But no, he said, يا عصاي أتوكل عليها وأهش بها على غنمي ولي فيها مآرب أخرى. He mentioned what's in that and what's the purpose, and was lengthy answer. Why? It's not all the time. No, it's not all the time he will get the chance to speak to Allah. He want to prolong that meeting. He was happy with this. And he want to go to other level. But for them, they are doing it and asking out of stubborn, out of arrogance. So the intention matter. When Abraha came and he intended to destroy Mecca and to destroy Kaaba, Allah sent Tayran Ababil, special bird, and were killed on the spot before even they came close by. Is that right? But when the grandfather of the Prophet ﷺ, with his axe, he actually removed the sides of Kaaba. And nothing happened to him. Because that person, Abraha, he came to destroy Mecca, so he has bad intention. And the grandfather, he demolished it with a good intention. He wanted to rebuild it because the sides of it were shaking. And actually people, they don't want to help him at the first place because they knew what happened to Abraham. Yes, but he said, no, I have good intention. He understands why is that. And when they saw nothing happen to him, they came to help him in what he was doing. So what my point here, intention tells you a lot. Intention is very important. Here, وَإِذْ قُلْتُمْ يَا مُوسَى لَن نُؤْمِنَ لَكَ حَتَّى نَرَى اللَّهَ جَهْرَةً فَأَخَذَتْكُمُ الصَّاعِقَةُ وَأَنْتُمْ تَنظُرُونَ. ما اسم هذا الواو؟ واو ايه؟ واو الحال. قلت لكم تعال معلمي ما شاء الله، هذا واو الحال، أي حال كونكم تنظرون. مرة أخرى. وإذ قلتم يا موسى لن نؤمن لك حتى نرى الله جهرة فأخذتكم الصاعقة وأنتم تنظرون. Can I stop a صاعقة and then start وأنتم تنظرون? Can I do that? No. No, we cannot start with waw al-hal. I have to connect it. Okay. Who can say it without looking? Bismillah. Yeah, you give it to me.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان من الشيء.
من الشيء.
من الشيء.
No, you're saying minas?
من الش
ليه بتدلعها كده؟ منش
من
منش
الشيطان من الشي
يا أش
أش
أيوة
من الشيطان الرجيم
أها
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الرحيم
الرحيم وإذ
There's no
قلتم
قلقلة
وإذ قلتم يا موسى لن نؤمن لك حتى نرى الله جهرة فأخذتكم الصاعقة وأنتم تنظرون.
Okay, but we didn't say no.
وأنتم تنظرون.
أحسن. Can we stop حتى نرى الله جهرة? Can we? Yeah, that's fine. You can stop in there. And that's what we're going to do now. وإذ قلتم يا موسى لن نؤمن لك حتى نرى الله جهرة. That's fine. فأخذتكم الصاعقة وأنتم تنظرون. So it's fine to stop there. It's Hassan. But if you avoid it, it's better. To continue, it's better. Next ayah. ثم بعثناكم من بعد موتكم لعلكم تشكرون. Do you realize this ayah? What it means? ثم بعثناكم. What's mean بعثناكم here? What that does mean? We revive you. We granted another life for you. Yes, after your death. Subhanallah. We resurrected you. Yes. So Allah granted another life for them. ثم بعثناكم. There are 5 stories in Surah Al-Baqarah that people or others given life after death. There are 5. Can we count those stories? So this one, عزير أو كالذي مر على قرية وهي خاوية على عروشها. Correct. ألم تر إلى الملأ من بني إسرائيل ألم تر إلى الملأ No. ألم تر إلى الذين خرجوا من ديارهم وهم ألوف حذر الموت فقال لهم الله موتوا ثم أحياهم. Yes. The man that were killed in the story of the cow. ضربوه ببعضها, that hit him with a pawn of it or some of it, and then he stood up. Yes? And what's the 5th story? الطير, birds, that Musa, that's Ibrahim slaughtered, and then he placed them in the mountains, and then he called them. They came back as the way how they were before. So there are 5 stories, yes? And why is that? Because the most important part in our faith, to believe in a day for judgment, to believe the life after death, to believe in an unseen. The first description from Muttaqeen in Surah Al-Baqarah, هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. So to believe in unseen is very important, and one of the most important stages of that, the life after death. So you have 5 stories that mention to emphasize about this concept. So this is very important because building the aqidah and how you establish your aqidah based on that. So this is among the first early stories about this. ثم بعثناكم من بعد موتكم لعلكم تشكرون. Any one of you can say both ayat. Akram, yes.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Now it's a point. Like if we are reciting like in sequence or one after
بسم
one,
الله.
do we have to repeat isti'adha? You wouldn't have to. Yes.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإذ قلتم يا موسى لن نؤمن لك حتى نرى الله جهرة فأخذتكم الصاعقة وأنتم تنظرون.
حلو. Just give yourself a chance. Do not speed up. When you stop, and especially on the stop and the letter that has sukoon, give it a chance. وَإِذْ قُلْتُمْ يَا مُوسَى. Go ahead.
وإذ قلتم وإذ قلتم يا موسى لن نؤمن لك حتى نرى الله جهرة فأخذتكم الصاعقة وأنتم تنظرون.
So حروف الاستعلاء 7. There's letters are, we can say empty mouth, and the other one full mouth. Which empty mouth are soft, the full mouth are strong. Where a tafkhim, that you fill your mouth with the air. As simple as that. So you open it. If you're not opening your jar, you're not going to pronounce it in the correct way. The as-saw. You're going to say why are you closing your lips? No, as-sa'iqatu. So that's a tafkhim. We have to understand that 7 letters, khussa, daghtun, qidh, 7 letters. The Arabic language, in terms of tafkhim and tarqiq, divided in 3 categories. Letters always are strong, which are 7. Those I mentioned. Letters sometimes soft, sometimes strong, depend on the situation, the circumstances, and the vowels and all other things. Which alif, lam, ra. Alif, lam, ra. Yes, 3. The alif, in some position, sometimes you say وَالضُّحَى حَا. You know? Sometimes you say طَغَى آ. Tafkhim, tarqiq depends on some circumstances, some conditions. Lam, in the word Allah, Bismillah, la. Inna Allah, la. Yes, the lam and ra. Sometimes Maryam, Fir'aun, you know, so it's different. Alif, Lam, and Ra. How about the rest? Always are soft. So we have 7 letters are always strong letters. We call it huruf al-isti'la. And we have degree for that strength. The highest degree when that letter has fatha and followed by alif. Like this one. As-sa, as-sa. That's the highest level of isti'la, of tafkhim. The highest level. And then the second level, if it just has fatha, ta. And then if it has sukoon, then it's dhamma, then it's kasra. When the letter has kasra, that's the least level. That's the lowest level of tafkhim. The last level of tafkhim. Yes? So it's not like sa, like now, si. And that's why if there is a mistake, most of the time, if there is a mistake, when those letters has kasra. A lot of people, they didn't pronounce the tafkhim as supposed to be. But sometimes even when those letters has fatha, some people, they make mistake, they make the tarqiq. Because the effect of their accent. Like some, they will say Khalid, Khalid. because of their accent. Like when a normal speak, they said Khalid. No, not Khalid. Khalid, Khalid. You know? Yes, in some culture, like, you know, at their accent or their dialect, they make that some letters are soft. But in going back to the roots of Arabic language, no, it's not soft. Those ones are strong letters. Okay? One more time, Akram.
وإذ قلتم يا موسى
I want you to give more time. Let me and you start together. Me and you only. وإذ قلتم يا موسى لن نؤمن لك حتى نرى الله جهرة. One more time by yourself.
وإذ قلتم يا موسى لن نؤمن لك حتى نرى الله جهرة فأخذتكم الصاعقة وأنتم تنظرون.
Believe me, he's still speeding up. He's still speeding. Yes. See, there is martaba. They call it hadr. Hadr when you speed up in recitation. والاستماع في القراءة مع مراعاة الأحكام. I don't advise somebody use that martaba, that degree of recitation, that speed of recitation, unless reach certain level of strength of ahkam. Always try to use the tahqiq, reciting with itmi'nan, without speed. Yes. Go ahead, go back. One more time.
وإذ قلتم يا موسى لن نؤمن لك حتى نرى الله جهرة فأخذتكم الصاعقة وأنتم تنظرون.
Okay.
Continue. ثم بعثناكم من بعد موتكم لعلكم تشكرون.
Okay. Read the next one. Read it. Continue.
وظللنا
No, your tongue has to be out. Yes.
وظللنا
لا مرققة. وظلل
لا مشدود
مرقق بس.
اوكي. وظللنا عليكم الغمام
الغاء الغاء مفخم، ما مرقق، الغاء الغماء.
وظللنا عليكم الغمام
الغماء.
وظللنا عليكم الغمام وأنزلنا عليكم المن والسلوى كلوا من طيبات ما رزقناكم.
زيد الطاء.
كلوا من طيبات ما رزقناكم.
مرة أخرى طاء.
كلوا من طيبات ما رزقناكم وما ظلمونا ولكن كانوا أنفسهم يظلمون.
أحسن. Together وظللنا عليكم الغمام وأنزلنا عليكم المن والسلوى كلوا من طيبات ما رزقناكم وما ظلمونا ولكن كانوا أنفسهم يظلمون. وما ظلمونا, there's another one in the Quran, وما ظلموا الله 3 times. The وما ظلمونا, maybe you make a kind of a mnemonic, وظللنا وما ظلمونا وأنزلنا, you know, you make a kind of link in your brain so you not forget. Because if you are not making that link, you might say, وَمَا ظَلَمَهُمُ اللَّهِ, you know, for example. So it's good. Those ayat mutashabihat have similarity in other verses. You connect it somehow. We call that mnemonic. Yes? Yes. You made that link. وظللنا. Okay, وأنزلنا. Okay. Yes. هذه تسمى علامات، علامات الوقف. علامات الوقف هذه اجتهادية. The sign that when you see, like, you know, that's what you mean, yes? The meme, silly, qili. هذه اجتهادية. That's just only the committee that's behind that mushaf. They decide to make it easier for people, so they're giving the advice, stop in this, continue on that, and that's not something that you have to follow. There's one part of ulum al-Quran, of Quranic scientific, or a Quran science, you can say, called al-waqf wal-ibtida'. Scholars wrote in, you know, on those like field many books in the past, and they give their insight and they give their advice where they recommend this one, and they said it's better to stop here, it's better not. Okay, why is that? Why is, you know, why you should not? So they mention some of, you know, those choices. Al-Waqf wal-Ibtida'. There are many books, you know, of Waqf wal-Ibtida'. Now, the scholars when they study those books, they might choose some of those information, you know, and they use for their recitation. And there are different schools. So, based on those references, based on their understanding for the Quran, based on their mastering of the Arabic grammars, and based on their ijtihad, they collect all of that, and that committee, they came up with those signs. And we didn't have to follow it. It's an ijtihad. And that's one of their choices. It's a choices. Yes. So you could stop in this, you could stop another one. In some masahif, some scholars of Waqf al-Ibtida' choose only one sign. You see how many signs here? They choose only one sign. And by the way, if you want to know any sign in any mushaf that you don't understand, why is that and what that does mean, go back to the index. You will find a table or explanation for those signs. You go back, at the end, they will explain to you. Because in some masahif, they have their own signs, their own symbols, you can say. They choose for certain things. Nowadays, many masahif, they follow almost the same method, but that's not something must for them to do so. They can come up with their sign. If you see like some masahif, especially those was printed in the North Africa, in Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, they used the ijtihad in the opinion of Imam Al-Hibti fil Waqf. And Imam Al-Hibti fil Waqf, he made only one sign. It's like a sad and ha, sah, which means stop, sahin, stop, kif. You know, yes, صاد صاد مع السن كأنه صاد وهاء. في بعض المصاحف فقط صاد. مصاحف الحديث صاد فقط هكذا صاد كاملة. So there's only one sign. And they take care of that, you know, and they study وقف الهبطي. إلزم وقوف الهبطي في الأوقاف فإنه لصنعة الإرداف سهل معين إذ جرى به العمل في غربنا وذا به الأداء حصل. And they care about it. To the point they count how many وقفة. وعدد وقوف الهبط عند المقرئين 10,000 أقل 60 ونصفه والجلود آياتالي هذا هو الصحيح في الأقوال. So they follow those وقفات, and they said, you know, he's stopping here and not why, and why he's there, you know. And some scholars, they criticize some of the waqfat, and other scholars, like the one, for example, criticized, he made a master degree on that, and he called Taqid Waqf al-Hibti, and he criticized 360 waqfa, 360 position. He said he should not stop there. And one of my shuyukh, he made a reply to that. He said, سيف المعطي لمن اعترض على وقوف الإمام الهبطي. Another one, هبة المعطي, لمن اعترض على وقوف الإمام الهبطي. And they are like, try to defend the Imam. No, he's stopping there for a purpose and what. Anyway, so all of that is ijtihad. Why we make it hard for people? وما في القرآن من وقف وجب ولا حرام غير ما له سبب. Who can repeat it? وما في القرآن من وقف وجب ولا حرام غير ما له سبب. Yes, there's no waqf wajib, there's no waqf it's must, you have to stop, or it's haram, or like forbidden, unless there's a reason. Yes, let me give you some examples for what waqf it's must to stop for a reason, and haram to stop for no reason. Yes, okay. When you say ayah we recited yesterday, ما كان الله ليذر المؤمنين على ما أنتم عليه حتى يميز الخبيث من الطيب. If somebody said ما كان الله and stop, is that right? If he stopped for a purpose, that's haram and might lead him to be out of Islam. ما كان الله was no Allah. What is? That's something he should not do it. Yes, and in the contrary, and sometimes you need to stop, otherwise the meaning will change. I'll give you one example. One example, very clear. Surah Yunus. Open Surah Yunus alayhi salam. Surah Yunus, page 216 and verse 65. ولا يحزنك قولهم. That's in the middle of the ayah. Verse 65. ولا يحزنك قولهم. Even they put meme in top, that lazim, must. إن العزة لله جميعا. So why I should stop? And what's going to happen if I continue? Do not be sad for what they have said, yes? If you continue, people will listen to you and they'll think what they have said is dignity is for Allah. But that's not their saying. They said the opposite. So do not be sad for what they have said, that they said the dignity for us and but tell them as a reply, إِنَّ الْعِزَّةَ لِلَّهِ جَمِيعًا. You get the point. If you don't stop there, the meaning will change. Yes? So there's a reason, that's why we stop there. وَمَا فِي الْقُرْآنِ مِنْ وَقْفٍ وَجَبٍ وَلَا حَرَامٍ غَيْرَ مَا لَهُ السَّبَبِ. That's why, because there is ujma, there's no understanding for tafsir, there's many other points. If you left it with no signs, people that didn't have sometimes the sense to know where they should stop or not. So these to help people to recite. Okay? But you didn't have to follow all of it. If you have a good understanding by yourself, you don't have to follow that. Am I clear, inshallah? Quran lovers. Quran lovers. Jannah seekers. Inshallah. Together with قُلْتُمْ until the end of the page. وَإِذْ قُلْتُمْ يَا مُوسَى لَن نُّؤْمِنَ لَكَ حَتَّى نَرَى اللَّهَ جَهْرَةً فَأَخَذَتْكُمُ الصَّاعِقَةُ وَأَنْتُمْ تَنظُرُونَ. ثم بعثناكم من بعد موتكم لعلكم تشكرون وظللنا عليكم الغمام وأنزلنا عليكم المن والسلوى كلوا من طيبات ما رزقناكم وما ظلمونا ولكن كانوا أنفسهم يظلمون. أحسنتم ما شاء الله. Listen, next ayah or two ayah are not that easy. You want to take it now or we'll leave it next time? No. See, one time, let me ask you. There's a story happened here. Sometimes it's good to share, like some stories to bring a smile at the same time. You might get benefit from it. Yes. So when we opened the masjid called Mohamed Al-Jammali in our locality, we want to start good habit of finishing Quran in the entire Quran in Ramadan, in Taraweeh. Because some masajid, they recite few azza, some other masajid, they recite the entire Quran. And we noticed that if the first year started with few azza, not complete khatma, they will continue with that. And we want like some masajid to keep kind balance. If you want a short Taraweeh, go to the other masjid. You want to listen to the entire Quran, come to this masjid. So people debate about that. I stood up and I said, I have a suggestion. I want to suggest for you something, and if you agree on that principle, we go ahead. They said, please go ahead. What you want? I said, I'm going to consult the oldest person in the masjid. And whatever he will do, or whatever he will say, we are going to follow. They were happy with that suggestion. Everybody happy. Actually, those, they want to khatam, they were sad. The sheikh, why sheikh is that? They look at me. They said, you were supporting us. Now, you change your mind, you're supporting them. Because that's the suggestion, I suggest. And there's an old man, he's at that time 92 years old. And he's praying not on the chair. When he comes, he cannot stand up straight. His back like this way, and he's praying always standing. And I know him. He's half of the Quran. People that didn't know him, and he's a really good person. I said his name Miftah. I said, Hajj Miftah. You want? We said tatweel or taqsir. You want tatweel or taqsir? The entire Quran was just some of it. He said, what? I said, the whole Quran or some of it? He said, all Quran, what are you talking about? The whole Quran, inshallah, even twice. Everybody's silent. The other people, they are 70 years old, 60 years old. Now they have no word to say. Oh, we are tired word people. Why you make it hard for us? They kept silent, the entire Ramadan. And then they enjoy it at the end, they were happy with that khatam. But sometimes you need to use Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to ask one person. We are going to take, I'm not going to ask you. I'm not going to ask you. I know you. I'm going to select one. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to ask you now. Hey, we take them or stop? We stop, yeah? لا خلاص. We stop at this. Well, because I want you to master, the pages. It's not about how much we take. But these two ayat, yeah, in need of consideration, because they are very similar to other two ayat in Surah Al-A'raf. And we want to not just recite them. You are not going to feel that at this time now it's difficult to memorize because you have no clue about the other one. Generally speaking, So because if you know the other one, then what's going on? You get confused about, the wording. But I want you to have that assurance and a strong belief that Quran is miraculous word. We believe in that in our hearts. But we have shortage of believing that in our mind. Is that right? So we have full confidence and full belief that Quran is miraculous with our heart. But we need to have understanding. Why is that? That's what we need. When you compare between ayat like this one, where the change of like one letter here and one letter there, you say, why is that? Why this letter is matter? Why in this surah has that letter, the other one doesn't? And similar stories, similar ayat. These are something special. And by the way, this type of knowledge, you are not going to find it in the books of tafsir. No. You're not going to find it in the books of tafsir. There are special books studying the language of the Quran. Very special books. And unfortunately, none of that were translated. It's not that easy to translate. Actually, they need translation from Arabic to Arabic. Some of those books, There's one book called ذرة التنزيل وغرة التأويل في الآيات المتشابهة من كتاب الله العزيز للخطيب الإسكافي. 30 years ago or more, I had that book and was reading as if I was reading in puzzles. What's going on? What he's talking about? And then eventually I found the interest in that. It's really beautiful. It's something amazing, and many other books, in that field. Nowadays, even this till now, there's not much people care about this subject. That's why I said I want to revive this area of Quran and make it common among people. I wrote a book in this. It was not published yet, but called Al-Wajih fi Tawjih al-Shabih, where I emphasize about the reason why those ayat are similar, but still there's some differences there. Why is that on those texts? That's first make you believe in the miraculous structure and words of the Quran, and at the same time help you to memorize. Because now you're not just memorizing and without knowing the reason. I noticed some of my students, when I explain to them the differences, they tend even to forget the ayah, but not forget those differences, because they understood why. So it's very important to have that connection to the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah give us the best of understanding. اللهم علمنا وجاهلنا وذكرنا ما نسينا وفقنا في ديننا وجعلنا من الصالحين. اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في الدين والدنيا والآخرة. آمين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.